Rich, we know you've been watching this as well. How bad is it over there?
Well, it's pretty major flooding over there. I mean, temperatures are in the 80s and 90s, and there's still a pretty widespread snowpack that's melting off. So, and they're going to be dealing with that. We're going to cool down markedly here in the next couple of days. It's going to be a slower cool down in eastern Washington. So probably is going to be the weekend or the first of next week before things begin to recede. We hit another record yesterday. Looking at Sunday, we hit 85, broke the record for the day of 84, hit 88 yesterday, broke the record of 87. We are going to cool down today for sure. We're looking for temperatures dropping back to the mid to upper 70s and then probably upper 60s and low 70s on Wednesday. So we're going to see definitely dropping well below the record-breaking level, which I think most people are going to be happy about, especially those who have to work during the weekdays and have to go to bed at a reasonable hour. Checking out of the airport right now, no backups on the departure deck, partly cloudy skies, and we do have the marine deck kind of moving in from the north and the south this morning, kind of swallowing everybody up. See Avandi High School down there in Olympia. You can see the low clouds reflecting the city lights there. And temperatures this morning just step out the door, most spots in the low to mid 40s, so a pretty comfortable morning out there. University of Washington model had some problems with it early on, showing the clouds coming in today. They do burn off as we head towards midday today, and then it'll be mostly sunny this afternoon, and those temperatures dropping back to the mid to upper 70s, maybe 80 in the warmest spots. Then this says we picked the model up at tomorrow morning. You can see there, or rather Wednesday morning, clouds covering most of the interior western Washington. Very slow to burn off on Wednesday and Thursday, as a matter of fact. Might even see a little bit of spotty drizzle in the mornings both days, as we have pretty good marine push both days. And still temperatures will be getting into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Normal highs are in the mid 60s, so we'll still be above normal, but no more records for the rest of the week. So morning clouds and mostly sunny this afternoon. Highs mid to upper 70s to near 80 degrees. More persistent clouds for Wednesday and Thursday. And there's a chance you could see a little bit of spotty drizzle in the mornings as well. Upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Might see a few showers around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're just going to be spotty. It's still mild, though, with temperatures upper 60s and low 70s. Back to mostly sunny and temperatures warming back into the low to mid 70s as we head towards Monday. So all in all, pretty quiet 7 days and maybe a little bit more livable for quite a few people.